Hey Drew, Coach Tim here with the Cincinnati Reds, but I think you know that. Nice to see a young man. Yeah, I apologize for my voice being a little scratchy. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I was really anxious to get to your video tonight. Watched it a number of times, and the progress is wonderful. You really are developing into a good athlete, Drew, and that's very, very pleasing to see. But you put in a lot of time, and it will pay off. Now I'm going to share a few things with you. I'm going to use Joey, as you know, to help demonstrate. Let's watch your swing. By the way, I'm going to stop it there. Most important, school. Hope you're killing it in the classroom, all right? We need all-star students, smart baseball players. All right, continue on. That's a lot of leg lift there, young man. You're going to come off the top of this. See that? I'm going to show you why that happened. And I realize that we sometimes miss the ball, but there's a reason why this happened with you. Now, one of the reasons that I'm not crazy about the high leg lift for young guys. Now Joey lifts his leg up. I grant you that. Not as high as you, but he's done this 100,000 times, and he's a remarkable athlete. I guarantee you that he hasn't done this his whole life. And there are times when he gets away from it now. I've seen him go no stride. I've seen him do choke up and do a lot of things. So he's a guy who adjusts a lot. You know, if you take one of the extremes, it would be like a Josh Donaldson where he drops his hands down around his ankles and brings his knee up around his earlobes. And he's pretty effective, or Jose Bautista, his teammate. Then you got guys like Aaron Judge that take a small stride, or the third baseman for the Cubs, Bryant. He doesn't take a big one, and yet he's got an enormous swing, huge power. All right, Chris Bryant. There we go. I drew a blank. But that doesn't add any power. And what I notice a lot of times with the young hitters is that what we're trying to do, what Joey does with that, when he's timing out the pitcher, he's riding out that front side. He's doing more than just striding. But his primary purpose is to get some weight off his backside toward the front. So when he does this, his back knee moves forward, and you go, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is, got a little bit too far. The big deal is that that's what allows his whole body to move forward, so his head ends up over his belt buckle in a very neutral position, in that all-important heel-down position. This is the beginning phase of unweighting that backside, taking some weight off, driving into that front side, creating momentum at the point of contact. And when you just lift your leg and reach out, look at how far you're reaching, and yet your back knee is only moving because you're beginning the swing. So you're really not gaining any ground with your back knee. So what does that tell me? Where your weight is? It's right there. And when the weight is there, instead of driving into that ball, we're going to create kind of a spinning move, and the barrel of that bat is going to come out and around in a looping fashion that's going to be less direct than we went to the ball. We don't go directly to the ball anyway. I don't teach that. But we want to be more direct than what you're able to by getting into that classic squish the bug mode. Okay? So what am I getting at here? I would cut down on that. You know, you've heard me say this. The longer that foot is in the air, the easier it is for the pitcher to fool you. You cannot hit a baseball with your front foot off the ground. Okay, so a lot of pitchers see guys with those high leg lifts and go, yum, yum. I've got a number of things I can do to eat him up. Remember, I'm not talking about Joey Votto level or Josh Donaldson level. So when you get here, just allow your head to come forward a little bit. That's all. That's all I'm asking. That movement from your backside to your front side is going to add power. It's going to give you better plate coverage. It's going to give you a better path to the baseball, and it's going to allow you to have better extension after contact. All right? Now, I see it a lot more with so many guys, a lot more significant. Guys leaning way back, thinking the farther we lean back, the more power we've got, and they're just dead wrong. You're not really doing that. But I'm being very picky with you, Drew, because I think I know how important this is to you. And so let's get it right. That's what you can do this wintertime. The wintertime is for thinking. The wintertime is for retraining our nervous system so that when we step into the batter's box in the spring, I don't want you to hear my voice or see this video of Joey Votto playing in your head. I want you to step in the box and identify the spin, the speed, the location of that pitch, and put a whooping on it. That's when the game goes from being mental to physical, because you've now at this point, if you've done your work, Now you perform up to your level of preparation. That's what you do. If you're not prepared, then they're thinking and you're hesitant, and now the pitcher gets the advantage. Sounds pretty simple. In theory, it's simple. But the answer is work in the off season. Now, I'm not asking you, Drew, to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. I'm asking you to stand in front of a mirror with a bat. I would figure out a way to blow this picture up of Joey in this position, tape it to that mirror, and do this over and over again, 1,000 times, 2,000 times. I don't care how long it takes, so that it feels like you've been doing it your whole life. I now know that it's so unusual for guys to do this correctly that nobody really falls out of the crib doing it. So you have to learn it. But it's going to help you. I think you can see right now how you're leaning back. I need to get a little bit better balance with you. But it's one fluid motion. Remember, when that foot hits the ground, it's go time. I don't want you to get here, wait, and then swing. Because that's what the pitcher's trying to do to you with an off-speed pitch. Let's watch this again. And another thing, too, this is a big deal. See how you're beginning your swing? You're at heel down right now. See how you're coming through? Watch Joey. As he strides, look at how his hands are actually going back a little bit. I think more accurately, as I mentioned, as his head's coming forward because he's, again, unweighting the backside. He's walking away from his hands. You may have heard me say this, I'm not sure, but he's tightening a rubber band. If there's a big rubber band between his hands and that front foot, he's taking the slack out of that rubber band. He's feeling the power. He's creating separation between his upper half and his lower half that's going to allow him to really launch. But if your hands are coming forward, that rubber band isn't tight. All right? So start there, and as you take your stride, move your hands back there. That's what I like to see you do. That's the traditional terminology is loading up. Well, that's really what it is. We're loading up, getting ready to fire. Okay? And that would happen if you just kept your hands back there as your body came forward a little bit. Again, see how those problems are fixed? If we get into the proper position at heel down. Okay, that's enough. Love the progress you've made. Anxious to see you again. Anxious to see if you put into time this winter, as I believe you will, just how successful you're going to be come spring. I promise it's going to be a big deal. All right, in the meantime, don't forget to hit the books as hard as you with the baseball. Until next summer, this is Coach Tim along with Joey Votto saying go Reds. See ya, Drew Dog.